Waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Floppy ears and bushy tails. That's the theme of this week's episode of Bayou Wild TV. We join two different groups of hunters on a mission to bag some late-season squirrel and rabbit, while learning of the generations-old traditions of small game hunting in Louisiana.
When I was 10 years old, my daddy bought me 3 female beagles and introduced me to rabbit hunting with dogs.
It's easy to hunt. It's close to the home. Goes back from when I was 13 years old till I'm 76. So that's over 60 years.
Sometimes the hunters win, and other times the target is just too swift. And you quickly realize the superstars of these hunts are not holding a gun, but rather the ones using their nose.
I have the male dog, Jake, is a mountain cur. He's 4 years old. And I also have Flipper. She's also a mountain cur, a smaller mountain cur.
And of course, when the hunt is a success, we explore new ways to bring the animal to the table.
My friend Dave makes a rabbit sauce piquant that it's the best.
And brown them on both sides. And then I take them, put them in a pan, cover them with onions, and put them in the oven for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And man, they fall off the bone and they are delicious.
My wife just likes to smother them down in brown gravy over rice. Some people put them in a red gravy.
From field to plate, coming up with Chef John Folse in the kitchen.
Anyway, we're always making the classic sauce piquant.
Yes.
Sauce piquant meaning hot sauce, spicy sauce piquant. And most of the time, we're using game in a sauce piquant. Very seldom will you see a
Chicken.
Chicken sauce piquant. That's I'm not going to tell
Someone
you.
who can't get
that's
good
up north.
game.
That's up north.
Yes.
Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member. I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Funny yellow bag, pull and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Get your Bayou Wild Collection soft tee or dry fit fishing shirt at BayouWildTV.com. Show you're a proud Bayou Wild supporter and get both today at BayouWildTV.com.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
When I was 10 years old, my daddy bought me 3 female beagles and introduced me to rabbit hunting with dogs. Come on, come on. and I've been owning dogs ever since. I've never went a year without dogs. You know, back then I was 10, my brother was 13, and just me, him, and my daddy would just go into little 2-3 acre spots and go kill 6 in the, like 2 hours before dark, we'd turn them loose and go kill 4, 5, 6 rabbits. You know, as I got older, I start leasing land and start making habitat, and it just grew into this now.
And I probably killed my first rabbit when I was about 6 years old with a BB gun. We were brought up this way, hunting, fishing, it's in our blood.
We're on the east side of the Mississippi River down in Plaquemines Parish, where you got some high ground up against the Mississippi River, slopes back down to the marshland, and in between that you got some nice bottomland hardwoods here with some palmettos. Now what they've done here is they've really groomed this property to prepare it for excellent rabbit hunting. They've cut some lanes, they've got some areas with some briars that grow in there, blackberry bushes, and you're not going to find better habitat for rabbits.
I'm one of the very fortunate ones that still have a lot of places to hunt, but for most people, the future of it is just, they run dogs in enclosures and they go to field trials.
You know, what I enjoy about rabbit hunting as much as shooting a rabbit is watching and listening to those dogs. If you don't get goosebumps when you hear a pack of beagles bawling hot on the trail of a rabbit, you better check your pulse.
For good dogs, you're going to pay between $400 to $1,000. About a little bit over 4 years ago, I decided to start breeding, raising my own, and it's been working out real good. But you know, I hunt at least 4 days a week for 6 weeks, so I gotta have 2 packs, especially when it's 75 degrees. I'll run 1 pack, skip a day, run the other pack, skip a day, run the other pack, because, you know, when we had all this cold weather in February, 5 years ago and back, I had 1 pack of dogs that I ran 4 days a week. The only time I had a little trouble on a Sunday because they ran 2 days in a row. But everything greens up so fast now that I try to keep 2 pack of dogs so I don't burn them out so fast.
Well, you know the old saying about you gotta be very quiet, we hunting wabbits? Don't believe it with this crew. These guys never shut up.
Help! Come here! Help! No name, we just got 7 guys I've been hunting with for about 30 years now. And we all just pitch in a few nickels every year to help pay for the lease and tractors and bush hogging.
Hollering at each other, they're encouraging each other, but mostly they're ragging on you. You do not want to miss a rabbit and let anybody see you out here, or you will never hear the end of it.
I was born and raised doing this. I'm definitely a good shot, but if you always want to be a good shot, hunt with a bunch of old guys.
Hunting with hard-headed Dagos. That's what this is like.
Wouldn't be that he can cook so good, I wouldn't even invite him. Just kidding.
Definitely my favorite, by far. I think it's all of our favorites. Just the camaraderie with the friends and the people having a good time. You know, you enjoy so much of it.
I don't care how many rabbits you kill. If it's not fun with the people you hunt with, it's not worth it. And you gotta have thick skin in this group. We dog on each other pretty bad sometimes.
You know, we have a great group of guys we hunt with, and he puts a lot of hard work raising these dogs, training these dogs. And the habitat, we actually work real hard keeping this property the way it is to hunt these rabbits. But he is an outstanding rabbit hunter, outstanding hunter in general, an excellent father.
Ooh, I don't want to tell you what I invest in dogs, and my wife might want to watch this.
My daughter, she shot 3 deer this year. 8 years old, she's one heck of a shot. My son, every time I go hunting, he cries. He wants to go bad. Only 2 years old, and he loves it very much.
You know, I'm very lucky. I got 2 boys and a girl, all love to hunt and fish. 5 grandkids, of course, one of them's only 3 weeks old. They all love to hunt and fish. That's how it keeps going.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D.
Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
We're in a Lewing swamp area, very marshy area. Probably a great habitat for a lot of animals because for one, there's fresh water around. 2, there's a lot of vegetation. And certainly there's a lot of high trees for the squirrels to hide in.
What we got going on here, we got the dogs baying at this tree. They likely picked up the scent of the squirrel, but squirrels are master of hiding. And he could be up there flat against one of those branches, or if you look right there, you'll see a hole, and they'll hole up a lot of times in there too.
Get him.
Gotta have a female's eye to find these things.
Now I gotta give Martha credit. She's the first one spotted that squirrel. If we can teach her to bark real loud, we'll be in good business.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit how much I like squirrel hunting. It's easier than a lot of types of hunting. You don't get discouraged as easily because it's a squirrel. I mean, it's fun.
Just easy to hunt. It's close to the home, and most of the squirrel hunting I've done was with my hunting partner, Arthur Campbell, when we had squirrel dogs at that time. We got squirrel dogs now. It goes back from when I was 13 years old till I'm 76. So that's over 60 years. I thank God for having good health and the legs to bring me and the one eye to direct me.
I think small game dogs have a little closer seat to the table than, say, hog dogs or ones that go out and get a little more aggressive. I think these guys, when they put a collar on them, they know exactly where they're going.
When they come off a good offspring and it's bred into them, you know, sometimes you can get a dog that's not bred to hunt squirrels and make a squirrel dog out of it, but most of the time it's bred into them, and you just got to really put them in the woods and let them do their thing.
The dogs want to find the squirrels as bad as you do, but once they see what they found, they're pretty excited about it.
Any dog, a working dog, they're always willing to please their master, you know, and that's what it's all about, really. I love it. I love hunting with beagles, and I always had hunting dogs and working dogs my whole life.
They know what to do, so it's cool to see that the instinct in them, because I can't smell a squirrel, and I can't tell you which tree it ran up. They're literally going from a scent that may never have been down there.
The little brindle and white cur dog Flipper, she uses her nose a lot. Now Jake, he does both. He'll look, I mean, we didn't get to see him doing it this morning, but he's always looking up a lot of times. He's looking for squirrels to be timbering out to other trees, and he also uses his nose as well.
I'm not really sure how they do it, because they're hopping from tree to tree and they find the tree from the bottom up. How the heck did they smell them? Did they smell them or did they see them? I don't know what's going through their head.
Now, I like mostly hunting in hardwoods. I don't have that opportunity most of the time to hunt hardwoods. Sometimes I get in a mix where there's piney woods and hardwoods, but I love these woods where we was at this morning. I like it a little more drier than some of the spots we were in, because mainly a lot easier walking on it. You know, you packing all these clothes and these heavy boots, and it's really hard to walk all these miles we walked this morning, you know, through all this mud and muck.
I think we would have had more squirrels today had we not tried to film, because we were sometimes waiting to get to the dogs and waiting to get the camera on them. I think we probably could have doubled up what we had today, just if we shot right when we saw them.
It went in the hole. Here you go, man.
Hello, my friends. This is Louisiana native Zachary Richard. I cherish the outdoor experiences that make our state so special. And for the first time in over 60 years, whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Wildlife and fisheries need your help as these beautiful birds resettle in our state. If you spot a whooping crane, observe it from a distance, and if you witness anyone harming one of these very special birds, call the number on the screen.
This message is underwritten by Chevron.
Add the taste of Louisiana to your next meal. If you like creamy, bold, tangy, or spicy, bring home the taste of Louisiana with sauces from Louisiana fish fry products. Welcome back. We're here at White Oak Estate and Gardens with Chef John Folse. Now, I admit, this is a recipe that's a little intimidating. I haven't made a piquant yet, but you're going to teach me. We're making a rabbit piquant?
No such thing as intimidating. Cooking is, look, every time we cook, it's a new recipe.
That's right.
It's, I don't care if we cook this sauce piquant 100 times, it's going to be 100 different recipes.
That's true.
Don't ever be intimidated by cooking. Let me tell you a little secret. None of us really know what the hell we're doing.
Winging it.
We're winging it. Anyway, we are making the classic sauce piquant.
Yes.
Sauce piquant meaning hot sauce, spicy sauce piquant. And most of the time, we're using game in a sauce piquant. Very seldom will you see a...
Chicken.
Yeah, I mean, chicken sauce piquant, that's I'm not going to tell
Someone
you.
who can't get
that's
good
up north.
game.
That's up north.
Yes.
But
so
anyway,
we have rabbit today.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, I do have the rabbit, and of course we have the nice meat over here. But to get started, I'm in the pot here already browning these beautiful legs of rabbit. See how gorgeous that is?
That's a well-fed rabbit right there.
You better believe it is.
Yeah.
Huh? Just go into the freezer, take those wild rabbits out that's been sitting there since last year.
Right.
Go ahead and make a sauce piquant. Make a big one and freeze it, all right? So I'm also putting in the pot smoked sausage.
Always a nice addition.
So I'm always picking up the smoke with the sausage, the meat, whatever it's going to be. All right, so now let's go ahead. I have my dark brown roux, and you see how nice and dark that is?
Takes time. I have made a roux, and you have to be patient. I know this because I messed up my first roux.
Oh, yeah, well, everybody does. Okay, let's go in with our, move that sausage out of the way, and let's go in with our onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic, all of our trinity. And again,
and here?
Yeah, and in Cajun cooking, or Creole cooking in general, South Louisiana cooking, we always begin with a multitude of good seasoning vegetables because the fresh gardens in Louisiana this time of year, especially during the time of the rabbit season.
And it gives a texture too.
Yeah, and you're already getting some of your fall vegetables during rabbit season, so you're starting to get all of that nice cooking right there. So that's the sauce piquant. Now I need a little bit of that tomato. You see, I have rotel that's going to give it the spice. Just dump it all in there. And then that nice tomato paste. See the tomato paste? I'm going to just take it out of there. That's going to create the sugars and all that I need to get that sauce piquant really nice. The sauce piquant is also a nice pink color, right?
It's a very similar start to gumbo, but adding the tomato makes it more of that piquant.
That's exactly right, and a great observation, because most of the time Cajun and Creole dishes begin with the roux, flavored with a multitude of garden vegetables, and then fish, seafood, shellfish,
then it takes on its different entity.
Take it on its at that time. Now you see, take a look at that.
It's very thick.
Yeah, that's the roux.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do right here is go in with a little bit of that stock.
So with a rabbit, obviously it's hard to find. It'd be difficult to find a rabbit stock. What kind of stock are we? Chicken?
That's just a chicken stock. That's enough, right? That's enough. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and look at the color that's coming
it's
about
got that
in
red
that pot.
hue too.
Now I'm going to move all of this beautiful rabbit that's browned. I'm going to put it right into the sauce. And that's why I started to brown it first, to be able to get that nice flavor in there. You with me?
And it keeps it moist too. It locks it in.
Now put the rest of that sausage right down in here. Just dump it right down in there. And I'm going to take the rest of this sausage out as well. A little bit more stock. We're going to let it sit and cook. Green onions, parsley. We're going to flavor it at the end. We need about another half hour of cooking. Wait till you see what it looks like.
All right, it's worth the wait. We'll be right back with a rabbit piquant.
Hello, my friends. This is Louisiana native Zachary Richard. I cherish the outdoor experiences that make our state so special. And for the first time in over 60 years, whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Wildlife and fisheries need your help as these beautiful birds resettle in our state. If you spot a whooping crane, observe it from a distance, and if you witness anyone harming one of these very special birds, call the number on the screen.
This message is underwritten by Chevron.
Some things in life smell delicious. Others, not so much. Like a gas leak. Propane, for instance, is naturally odorless. That's why we add strong odorants to alert you if there is a leak. So if you ever smell gas, turn your system off at the tank and call your propane dealer immediately. Propane is a safe and exceptional fuel, and we want to keep it that way.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef John Folse. We're making rabbit piquant, and this is a labor of love. It smells amazing. My question as a new person to making piquant, how long do we cook this down for?
Well, depending on the age of the rabbit.
Okay.
Of course, if a lot of folks have domestic rabbits, you can get them in the stores if they're not hunters, and of course that would take about an hour. The nice big rabbits you're going to get out of the field, it's going to take about 2 hours.
So it's more important based on the age of the meat than the sauce itself?
Yeah, and it all comes about knowing when the meat starts to break apart. You don't need a timer. You don't need, once it starts to fall apart, you know that it's nice and tender. We have a few little things in it. Piquant means pepper, so I'm going to put just a little bit of that cayenne down in there, and you have a little Worcestershire sauce. A little sauce goes into it, and then herbs, you know, oregano or basil or anything would go in to finish the dish off. And then, of course, you serve it alongside a nice platter, right out of the pot if you want to, or as we've
if it
done
even
here.
makes it to the plate.
Yeah, as we've done here. And of course, we're going to put a little bit of parsley, a nice big thing of hot rice.
This is a stick to your ribs meal after a cold day of hunting for sure.
No, absolutely, and that's what you expect to find from the camp cook when you walk through the door. You should smell.
I don't want to know which camp this is, because we're going there.
Well, you have the recipe.
Now
you should
it's
be
gonna be
cooking
mine.
it next
There you
time.
go.
Exactly right. Great recipe, and this recipe is from my grandfather, old Papa's Orang on Cabanossi Plantation. He loved that dish.
All right, so if you see any rabbits running around, you now know what to do with them.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Thanks for watching Bayou Wild. Hope you'll join us for our next episode. We're out here at Morton's on Mondays. Call them at Morton's Seafood Restaurant and Bar on the banks at Jafunka River and find out our schedule.
And you can check out all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. We have them, all the recipes as well, and the full-length episodes. Just search Bayou Wild TV, hit that subscribe button, and check out our website, BayouWildTV.com, if you want to pick up some merchandise. We've got hats, shirts to get you prepared for summer fishing.